This is my wheel as we're getting closer to having the base coat complete. This will be a two-part system where I will use a base color, which you can leave whatever base color you want on the wheel, or you can add a clear over it, a hardened clear, which will help keep off road grime and salt, things like that. Now I have the wheel just about where I want it, except I have left out a few. There's a few nicks right in here, if you'll look very closely. I'll see if I can get the camera to zoom in on that. And there's a little bit of where the reducer is eaten into the other paint underneath. Now what I'm going to do is use a little spot putty and show you how to use that. Now, spot putty is basically very, very thick primer. And the primer I used to use was all lacquer based. Now, lacquer based and enamel is reducer based, enamel reducer. Both of these are not compatible if you mix them together wet. Now, if I was to put too much lacquer on here, or lacquer thinner, and if it would go underneath the paint, it would start to cause this crinkly finish. But if you put it just enough on there to where the glazing paste or the spot putty gets in the hole, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to fill up a couple of holes, and then it evaporates out, and lacquer thinner evaporates 100% out of the putty. Now most primers are made of basically an agent to get them onto the project, which would either be a lacquer thinner or a reducer. This is made up of mainly a little bit of lacquer thinner and a lot of high build primer. And the high build primer is basically made of talcum powder. If you've ever seen somebody have their car and they're sanding it down and they got dust all over the place, it looks like talcum powder, doesn't it? Because that's what it is. So I'm going to take a little bit of this and I'll put it on my hand. Usually you want to put it on with a little trowel. And you can see what it looks like. It's real thick putty here. Let's see. It's real thick putty and it has a little bit of lacquer thinner. Now when I put it on, it's going to go on just like paint, but more noticeable. It will be a little bit fat, and then all of a sudden when the lacquer dries out of it, it will shrink into that hole. The trick is to get enough onto the object. I'm just going to do a little bit right here. I'm going to try and do this one-handed. I'll show you where I'm going to do it. If you'll notice right here, I'm going to use my hat to hold this wheel while I do this. Let's see, right about there. And we'll go right in here. And remember, less is more. And you're only going to get so much time to do this. And you don't want to put it on thick, you want to put it on thin. Okay? And the reason you want to put it on thin, it's probably a little too thick. The reason you want to do that is because when you go to sand, as you're sanding the spot putty, you're also sanding the paint around it. So the less you can sand any on the paint, you're not going to hurt the surface. Now I'm going to go and take and these little spots right here, I'm going to put a little spot putty on and a couple little dings up here. Then I will let it dry and show you how we sand it down. And then I'll put another final 2 coats on the rim until where I like it, and then I'll let it dry. And I'll tell you how you can know it'll dry. You put your nose up to it, And if you can smell thinner or reducer or any kind of smell, that means it's still drying. If your reducer in the paint or your lacquer thinner is drying, it means your paint is still moving. It's shrinking. So you can get the object totally smooth, perfectly, everything. If it has a little bit of reducer still in it, that reducer is going to come up through the top layer of paint, and the rest of it's going to shrink down into whatever cracks or low spots or scratches, and you'll be able to see it. So that's where we go from there. And these are my two-stroke manuals. That one cost me a fortune. That's the real one, not the PDF. It's $5 brand new, but they don't make this. This is one of the best manuals. This one's neat with a lot of different, really great motors in it. That is a 500 two-stroke. I love looking at that. And this Honda manual is for my 450 to 450cc twins, but it covers the Honda-matic and all the really complicated star gear transmissions. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more on here, and then I'll show you and post it.